Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a quick overview of my car, all the mods I have done to it, as well as my future plans. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is my 2009 Pontiac G8 GT level trim, but it's not like most GT level trims, and I'll get over why in a little bit. So I've had the car for about a year now. It has not been a worry-free year, but that's just race car life. I'll get into that as well. It kind of ties hand in hand with why it's not a normal GT. Overall, I mean, this is my first V8. It's my first fast car. The other cars I've had before this have just been slow Hondas. So I really love it. Nobody ever knows what it is. Anytime I take it anywhere, they're always, especially a lot of old people, are always asking me, what is that? What is that? So I love it for that aspect. I love people not knowing really what it is. It's kind of a sleeper, but it looks pretty aggressive, so it's kind of a half and half mix. So for the mods, I'm gonna do the exterior mods I've done, the interior mods, and then the performance mods. So for the exterior, I haven't done too much. I do have these aftermarket headlights. They're Matcher. I don't know how to say it. I botch it every time, but they look really cool. They had this chrome piece right here is LED daylight DRL, so it looks really cool at night and in the daytime. I have no complaints on visibility issues or anything. I light up, it's really good. I have some LED bulbs in them. You're supposed to run HIDs, but I couldn't get the HIDs to work, so it is what it is. I have some aftermarket fog light bulbs. They're LED as well. I got them from Advanced Auto Parts. I don't know if you really want to call that a mod or not. There is some tint on it. It's a weird looking tint. It's not your normal, like, just regular black dark tint. It's kind of a mirror. You can kind of see it right here. So at certain angles in the sun, it's a complete reflection. You can't see anybody inside. It just looks, you know, it's just like a mirror, which is kind of cool, I guess, because I guess some cops wouldn't really, you know, bat an eye to it, but I don't really like the way it looks, because most of the time it just looks like it's a fishbowl. You can't really, you can see, I mean, look, you can see right into it right there. So I will be changing that out. And then in the back, I have these aftermarket taillights. I think they're Spider V2 taillights. This is the white version. I like the way they look. When the car's on, this white bar here will turn red, and it's got sequential turn signals, so I think that's really cool. And then the last exterior mod I really have is this Holden badge. They replaced the Pontiac badge. I really like that part. So for the interior, also I don't have that much done to it. I have this Holden airbag swapped out from the normal Pontiac one. I got this off some dude off Facebook Marketplace. It was like $100, so really cheap. I don't even know if it's a real airbag or not, but it looks pretty cool. It looks a lot better than the normal Pontiac one. And then coming in here, I have an aftermarket head unit and dash kit. I'll go into the dash kit. So it's an Aero Pro V1. It low-key kind of sucks. I don't really like it all that much. And I don't like it because specifically, I'm trying to get out the glare on here. These. So this is the climate knob for changing the temperature. Since this is actually Australian, this side will change the passenger side, and this side changes the driver's side, because normally in Australia, you know, the driver would be sitting over here. That's not why I don't like it. So these knobs, when you spin them fast to change the temperature up or down, the temperature just like completely bugs out. It goes from like up 1 degree, down 3 degrees, up 2 degrees, down 1 degree, and that just spinning in one direction, it'll do that if you do it really fast. So you kind of have to like baby it and do it click by click. And even when you do it by then, sometimes it'll stay where it's at or go down a degree. It's like, I don't like it. I've heard they somewhat fixed that on the V2, but I've still seen videos of it doing that. So I don't know, it's kind of have to deal with it because there's not too many other options for G8 dash kits. There is, I think, the Cayenne one, but that's like a big like Tesla screen, and I don't like those because they don't have the knobs for the temperature or volume, and I believe those have to be knobs. Those are the three: temperature, fan speed, and volume should all be knobs in any car. This fan speed one, those buttons on the right do the fan speed, so that's not even true in this car, but that's my belief. Those should be knobs. For the head unit, it's a Boss BE9 ACP. It's actually a singled-in head unit. I'll see if I can show you on the back. Yeah, so see how it takes up one space? It takes up one singleton space and then like extends and uses this big screen. I actually really like this head unit. I don't really have too many problems with it. When I had an Android phone, sometimes if I was using Android Auto, it would just completely exit out of the maps when I was using like navigation, and I'd go open my phone and my route would just completely cancel on the phone and I have to research where I was going, and that's annoying when you're driving. So on my iPhone, I haven't had any issues with that, so that may have been a phone limitation, I'm not too sure. I did have a pretty glitchy phone. It was a Pixel 6 Pro, and those were known to have issues, so not too sure if that was a phone or the head unit. But I mean, I know Boss doesn't really get a good rap. Most people use Alpine or Sony or Kenwood, but this one, I mean, I really like it. I don't have any issues. I don't think I'm gonna swap that out. For the last couple interior mods, so I have this Uniden R3 radar scanner. This works really well. I have it hardwired into my rear mirror, so I'm not taking up any spots on the window or anything, or the 12-volt outlet. But it detects cops from like a mile away. I have gotten saved so many times in this thing. It's 300 bucks, so I mean, it's not super cheap, but it's really good for the money. The only thing I don't like about it is how it doesn't tell you what direction you're getting scanned from. So if you're getting scanned, you know, if you hear KA band, slow down. If you get laser, you're pretty much screwed already. And then the last one in here is this rearview mirror. I just did this a couple days ago. Normal G8 mirrors come with manual dimming, so you have like a little knob on the bottom to dim if you got like bright lights coming at you from behind. And with the radar scanner and like it hardwired into it, it just doesn't sit right. It's kind of like that with the normal one. And it looks pretty ugly. So I swapped it out. This is from a 2009 Suburban LTZ, I believe. I got off with some guy on Facebook. I get most of my stuff off Facebook, if you guys haven't told. That's where I found this car. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. And so, I mean, it fits right up. It's a kind of a pain to get that. And once you know how all the plastic pieces go together, it was pretty easy to swap, and it's straight plug and play. I didn't have to tap anything or hardwire anything. It's literally just unbolt, switch out mirrors, plug it back in, and you're good to go. So it's fully dimming. You do lose the compass, but I didn't really use that anyways, because who uses that anymore? So other than that, the last interior mod I head to the trunk for. So I don't know if you can really call this interior since it's in the trunk, but it's inside the car, so whatever. I have these two JL subwoofers. These are 12-inch ones. I can't remember the model number on it, but I'm sure this is all like kind of one package. Don't worry about that wire. That goes to the stock sub. It's running to a 500 watt RMS JL amp. I eventually do want to swap out the system because it takes up so much space. I mean, my entire trunk is pretty much gone. You still have a good room for groceries or whatever, but you have so much more room if this were gone. And I want to somehow get away to just replacing the stock 8-inch subwoofers and using like my own, and then using an amp. I'm pretty sure the amp is right here, yeah. So you could already use that, but one day I'll do that eventually. And then last but not least, performance. So as I said earlier, this isn't a normal GT. The normal GTs come with a 6-liter L76, which is basically an LS2, but it has displacement on demand, which is GM's like turning off 4 cylinders to conserve gas mileage. But those are known to break, which is exactly what happened on this one. I had a lifter fail, and then it caused catastrophic damage to my engine. And so I had two options. I could either get the L76 rebuilt for $3 grand, but have a 3-month waiting time. And I was just getting ready to start a new job at this point. So that, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get screwed. Or you could get a LS3 crate motor from the Chevy dealership here in my town for $5 grand and get the motor in the next day. So that's what I went with. This is a 430 horsepower rated LS3 crate motor. It literally came in the next day. It got shipped straight to my shop that I was having this worked on at, and they were able to get the motor in within a week. So that overall cost me $7,000. So it's $5 grand for the motor, $2 grand for the labor. I know it kind of sucks, but now I got a whole brand new motor in it, so I guess it's kind of cool. So the first mod on it is this Rotofab intake. I know most people go with the over the radiator style, and maybe one day I'll upgrade to that, but for right now, this one does pretty fine. Sometimes these come loose no matter how I'm tightened. No, like I tighten it, I keep it, you know, all the clamps secured. I'll just randomly be driving one day and this just pops out. I was straight out the bottom. So I don't know, that part kind of sucks. Maybe the OTR ones don't do that. Next mod I have are some long tube headers. These are SLP 1 3/4 inch high flow catted long tube headers. I mean, I don't know, they're alright. I'm definitely getting those swapped out, but I'll go over my future plans next. And then I also have a Corsa 2.5 inch catback exhaust. I think it sounds really good under load. At idle and cold starts, it doesn't sound that loud, and I guess that's what most people want, you know, loud when you're getting on it, and then a comfortable cruiser when you're not doing anything in it. But for me, I want to go full race car in this car. I want it to be loud all the time. I know it's obnoxious, I'm young, whatever. So I'll eventually be swapping that out as well. And then the last mod is I have a Circle D 2600 torque converter stall. That was because it was from my previous engine, because that one was cammed. So they swapped it over into this one. So car drive is great though still, even when it's not canned with that torque converter stall. So it doesn't, I mean, it'll be great when it gets canned. So for future mods, like I said, I'm gonna get the windows tinted. Those are gonna be on Friday. After that, I'm gonna buy some wheels and tires. These are stock wheels with winter tires on them. I do daily drive this here in Colorado in the snow. With those tires, I honestly don't even have any problems. It's pretty impressive for a 430 horsepower, you know, V8 rear-wheel drive sedan. But I will be getting some upgraded wheels and tires. I'm not going to say which ones yet. Those will be for future video. After that, I'm going to get some H&R coilovers just to lower it a little bit. Honestly, the ride isn't even really that bad. I've been with some wheels and tires. The gap won't be too noticeable, but I mostly want to do it for handling perspective. I may also switch the front and rear sway bars at the same time as I'm doing the coilovers. I'm not too sure. Some people have told me it's not really that big of a difference, but I'll do more research on that. So after that's done, I'm gonna swap out the catback. I think I'm gonna go with the Solo Cyclone 3-inch version. I've heard sound clips of it. It sounds great. It sounds really mean and aggressive, and I know other people like it. So I'm gonna go with that. And then I'll do the headers. I'm gonna go with either Cook's 1 7/8 inch headers, catless, or the G8 only 2-inch version. I'm not too sure yet. The 2-inch versions are pretty pricey, but you know, having a 2-inch headers and 3-inch exhaust would be pretty dope. And then after that, I'll do some interior pieces. I want to swap the steering wheel out for an Eric Tall one. He's like one of the go-tos for aftermarket steering wheels for our platform. And then maybe do the subwoofer. I might just go with like a regular 12-inch one single JL subwoofer. I'm not too sure yet. Then after all that, last but not least, I want to get this thing cammed. I think I'm gonna go with a BTR Red Hot cam. I've seen the numbers that those things have done on a GT trim level L76 G8. They make like 465 to the wheels. So with a LS3 one, I would assume it makes more, probably about like 470. That's gonna be my guess of when this is all said and done, full blown canned and tuned. I think it's gonna be 470. That's what I'm hoping for. So after that, I don't really have anything else I can really think of that I'd want to do. I plan on keeping this thing for a long time. I was contemplating supercharging it, and I know that's better out here at altitude in Colorado, but I don't know. I'm more of an NA guy. I know that would be cool, but I'd probably take my gas mileage, even though it's kind of already tanked, and when it gets cammed, it's gonna get tanked too. But that's a lot of money for supercharger, so I'm just gonna get it cammed. You know, it'll be a nice daily, but pretty rowdy. And then I'm sure you guys have seen it. This paint is kind of fucked with all the swirls and scratches on it. It's how it was when I got the car. Yeah, you can definitely see from this angle. I mean, look at all that. So I'm gonna try to paint correct it myself. I've never paint corrected before, but I watched a couple of tutorials on YouTube. It doesn't seem that daunting of a task. It's just time consuming, but I already do the whole wash myself with like the 2-bucket method and everything, so I think I can do it. I think I can do that and ceramic coat it. So other than that, guys, that's all I have for you today. I will be trying to make videos of all my installs that I do for this car, and I also plan on next week going to Cars and Coffee and filming that, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you guys. See you in the next one.